Naomi never imagined she'd return home. Years earlier, she moved to Moab with her husband and sons when there was not much food in Bethlehem. Her sons got married, they were happy, but then her husband and sons died. Now she felt like she had nothing left in Moab. But Naomi heard there was food in Bethlehem again, so she decided to go back. Her daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth, started the journey with her, but she told them to go back to Moab where they could have a better life. Orpah went back, but Ruth refused to leave Naomi. She said, "Where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God." Ruth knew life would be hard in Bethlehem. They were widows and very poor, but she chose to go with Naomi anyway. They needed food, so Ruth did something called gleaning. God commanded his people to leave some food behind when they harvested crops. People who needed it could come gather or glean the food. Boaz, the owner of the field, noticed Ruth. He didn't recognize her, so he asked his servant, "What family does this young woman belong to?" The servant replied, "She's the Moabite woman who came back with Naomi. She asked to glean here. Besides a short rest, she's been working hard all day." Boaz was impressed by Ruth's love for Naomi and all her hard work. Boaz told Ruth not to glean in any other field but his. He would give her what she needed and protect her from anyone who would try to hurt her. God was working out the details in Ruth's life. He was taking care of her needs. Maybe you wonder if God is working in your life, especially if you're going through a difficult situation. But if you are a child of God, you can trust that He is working out the details of your life, even when it doesn't feel like it. Isaiah 55:9 says, "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." God's knowledge and understanding are far bigger and better than ours. He knows and understands what is happening in your life. And God knows how to use everything for good. Yes, even the bad things. God was working out the details in Ruth's life. You see, Boaz was actually a close relative, and God led Ruth to his field. Naomi must have noticed God was working out the details of their lives and taking care of their needs. And she had an idea. Ruth and Naomi needed a kinsman redeemer, a close relative who would redeem them, care, and provide for them. Maybe Boaz would be their kinsman redeemer. The best way to do this would be for Boaz to buy their family's land and marry Ruth. But would Boaz want to marry her? They had to find out. Naomi instructed Ruth to visit Boaz and ask if he would be their kinsman redeemer. Would Boaz agree? Boaz did want to marry her. However, there was another relative who was first in line to redeem them. But Boaz had a plan. Boaz met the relative and some elders at the city gate. "Naomi is back from Moab. She is selling her family's land. I thought I should tell you since you're the first in line to redeem it. If you want to, redeem it now, and if not, I will do it," said Boaz. At first, the relative did want to redeem it, but when he found out he had to marry Ruth, he changed his mind. He let Boaz redeem Naomi and Ruth. God was working out the details to care for Naomi and Ruth's needs. If you are a child of God, you can trust that God is always working out the details in your life too. Romans 8:28 says, "We know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose." God's purpose for all His children is to make them more like Jesus. That's the best thing for you. God has promised that He is using all that happens in your life for good. God is good, and He always keeps His promises. He loves you. Sometimes, though, it may take a long time to see how God is using hard things for your good. When you need help trusting God, ask Him to remind you of how trustworthy, loving, and powerful He is. Ask for help to understand His plan. You can also think about how God has worked things out for good in the past, like in Ruth's life. God was always working out the details in her life, even in the hard times. Now, Ruth and Naomi had someone to take care of them. Then later, Ruth and Boaz had a son named Obed. And after over 1,000 years, another son was born into this family. It was Jesus, God the Son. Jesus was born on earth from the family of Naomi, Ruth, and Boaz. All through the Bible, we see how God worked in people's lives to do amazing things, even through hard times. If you are a child of God, you can trust that He is using that same amazing power to work in your life too.